Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy. Without any further interruptions, enjoy the What If. Chapter 5. The anti-pirate Johnny and Yosaku were standing on deck with constipated looks on their faces and their hands in a ram's seal. Naruto sat off to the side holding Samahata. It was feeding time apparently. Despite knowing how bad of an idea it would be for this information to get out, Naruto figured he could try to teach some jutsu to his crew since he was going to be taking them into the middle of the Grand Line for kicks. The problem was anything. Naruto asked lazily while Samahata purred in his grasp from the delicious flow of chakra. Come on, it's been 3 hours, you're telling me that you can't even feel it. Johnny and Yosaku fell to the ground in exhaustion, heaving and panting. No Naruto Aniki, nothing. Are you sure we even have that chakra stuff in the first place? Naruto frowned and walked over to them with Samahata in grasp before setting it on them both. Samahata rumbled in Naruto's hand, getting a nod from the whiskered blonde. Yes, you both have chakra, but you guys never use it. That and you also didn't even know anything about it until today. I had to train for years before I could access it. There was a school for it when I was a kid and they didn't even teach you any jutsu until you were like 10 or 11 years old. Johnny and Yosaku went wide-eyed over the thought of a bunch of kids blowing things up and making tidal waves like Naruto for a school grade. Naruto ignored them and carried on. Yeah, I guess that's why more people didn't know how to do anything with chakra, because it takes a while for your body to actually get used to the concept of such a power, and that's not even talking about the training that you have to do to access it. Nojiko came from below deck. Hey guys. What are you all doing up here? Sealing up Samahata, Naruto smiled at the girl. Ah, Nojiko-chan. Come here, I want you to try something out for me. Nojiko shrugged and walked over while Naruto turned to Johnny and Yosaku. Girls naturally have better chakra control because they have less chakra, so let's see if our girl here can use hers. He turned towards Nojiko and placed her hands in the ram seal. Okay, now I want you to focus. Focus on the bridge right between your physical and mental energies. Nojiko blinked blankly. How do I do that, Naruto-kun? Naruto stepped back. A very good question. Well, the way it worked for me when I was little was just tensing up my body and then having my mind set on reaching in and pulling that energy out. Nojiko stood still for a moment before nodding and trying to pull her chakra out. After a minute or two she dropped the seal and looked at Naruto apologetically. Sorry Naruto-kun, I can't do it either. Naruto waved it off. It's okay, I wasn't expecting any of you to actually be able to do it, yet anyway. I'll just have you work with the exercises that I did as a kid before the instructors tried getting us to use our chakra. I guess that stuff had uses after all. Naruto scratched his head, though that does narrow down what I can teach you by a lot. Naruto pointed at the two bounty hunters. Not so much you two, because all you want to be able to do is actually not suck with a sword. That will be easy enough, all things considered. He then turned to look at Nojiko. No, it's you that I'll be having the real trouble with. Nojiko pointed at herself questioningly. Me? But I never asked to learn how to fight. I just want to travel. Naruto nodded. I'm well aware of that, Nojiko-chan, but I'm going to have enemies. Hell, I already have enemies. You're going to need to know how to defend yourself in case it becomes necessary, and chances are that it will. I don't want you to be a sitting duck waiting on one of us to save you. Nojiko frowned but nodded. I understand. Oh, I came up here to ask you something. Just where are we going next? You said we were going to the Grand Line. Do you have any idea about how we're going to go about getting there? Naruto laughed nervously and rubbed the back of his head. Ask directions. All three of the ship's other inhabitants stared at Naruto in shock when Nojiko spoke up. You mean you don't know how to get to the Grand Line and you're trying to take us there? Naruto shrunk back. Hey, it's not like I've been around in this world the entire time. I've been winging it since we left. Hell, I don't even know where we are right now. What? Naruto recoiled at the sound of 3 people yelling at him as he cleaned out his ear. Well, yeah. What do I look like? A compass? I can barely read a land map. What the fuck makes you think that I can read a nautical map? Nojiko growled and immediately shoved Naruto out of the way before running inside to his personal lodgings. The immortal blonde stood up and dusted himself off. What was her deal? Johnny leaned against the mast. Naruto Aniki, it's really dangerous to not even know where you're going at sea. You could be stuck wandering forever or end up somewhere really dangerous that you can't survive. Naruto stroked his chin. Ah, I see. That's why Arlong had that hard-on for Nami-chan making him his stupid maps. Naruto eventually stopped thinking about it and laid down on the deck. Whatever. If we're lost, we're lost. It's been 2 days, too late to change anything about it now. Yosaku's jaw dropped at how detached their leader was being. How can you say that Naruto and Ikki? Naruto shut his eyes and yawned. Well yeah, I mean this won't kill me, and it's not like I'm in a hurry to be anywhere or do anything. A series of heavy thudding footsteps kept Naruto from curling up and going to sleep in the sun before a heeled shoe crashed into his abdomen with breathtaking force. Nojiko stood over him with tick marks on her head. You're so lucky that you didn't do anything that sent us off course since we left Kami Island. I know which way we're going. Naruto pried the girl's heel from his ribs. So where are we going, Nojiko-chan, and why did you find it necessary to drop a heel on my kidney? Nojiko sighed and walked up to the wheel, turning it in the correct directions. We're heading towards Loguetown. It's actually a good thing we're going that way too, since if we need to head to the Grand Line, that's the place that everyone stops at beforehand. Naruto just stared at Nojiko, who looked at him with a smirk. What? You think I'm the sister of a navigator and I didn't pick anything up from it? Naruto chuckled. Well, consider me humbled by your knowledge, Nojiko-chan. I am just a humble barbarian from the final continent, don't you know? Naruto turned to Johnny and Yosaku. Okay, it's time for me to whip your sorry asses into shape. Get over here, now. The two men shrugged and walked over to him. Okay, last chance to back out. From this point forward, if I hear any inkling of quitting from either of you, you are going to suffer for wasting my time. Johnny and Yosaku both gave him firm looks. Yosaku spoke for them both. We're not backing out, Naruto and Ikki. We want to be strong for the people we want to protect. Naruto pulled out a sealing scroll and in a puff of smoke had a bunch of bands in his hands. Well, we'll start you both off with this. In the blink of an eye he had placed them on the men's arms and legs. Ready. The men looked at Naruto blankly. What are we supposed to do with these, Naruto and Ikki? Naruto chuckled and made a half-tiger seal. You'll see. The bands glowed before Johnny and Yosaku crashed to the ground in a heap with a loud smash. Nojiko ran to look from where she was, being surprised from the sudden noise. Both men slowly picked themselves up as Naruto held back laughs. Hey! Don't break the wood, you bastards. Stand up. They both reached their feet with their legs shaking. Johnny's sunglasses were slipping down his face. Naruto and Ikki, what's going on? Is this your training? Naruto nodded. Yep, if you're going to be a swordsman, you're going to want to be able to cut your opponent before they can cut you. The way to do that is to be way faster than anyone else that you could be fighting. You also need to be able to block pretty much anything and break through pretty much anything. These weights will help you with that. Yosaku was sweating. Weights. Naruto pointed to his wrists and ankles. The two men looked at the bands. How much is this? Naruto did a quick run through in his head. I would say 25 pounds. Per limb, so you're both sitting with 100 pounds. Each right now. Nojiko paled from her spot. 100 pounds. Naruto-kun, that's a lot of extra weight to be carrying around. That will kill them. Naruto shook his head at the blue-haired girl. No, it won't, they'll be fine, they're just being drama queens. A friend of mine from when I was a kid did this with weights way heavier when we were 13. These two will be fine. He turned towards Johnny and Yosaku. Okay, 100 push-ups, 100 crunches, 500 punches per arm, 500 kicks per leg, and 50 laps around the ship. Go now, and if you quit or fall off the boat during the laps, I'll strap you to the lower part of the stern and leave you there until we dock. Understood. The men groaned in agreement, irritating Naruto. What was that? I don't think I heard you correctly. Did you just say, kick our asses and tie us to the front of the boat for a few days until we man up, Naruto and Ikki? They both stiffened up and dropped to the deck to eke out push-ups. Naruto nodded in a satisfied manner. That's what I thought. Now remember, push yourselves but don't pass out or something. However, Naruto made a cage bunshin. If he sees you actually slacking off, I'll have him motivate you. Nojiko frowned as she leaned on the wheel. That's cruel, Naruto-kun. Naruto walked up to the helm where the girl was leaning. No, it's not, it's necessary. If we go into there as we are and I wasn't awesome enough to keep them safe, they would get slaughtered. It's that simple. I know it, they know it, and that's why I'm doing this. There should be visible improvement by the time we get there. I need to work their basic parameters before I actually try teaching them skills. The basic stuff they know bolstered by an absurd amount of physical skill to augment it would work wonders for them. Nojiko watched them struggle to complete their push-ups. If you think it's needed, then okay, Naruto-kun. Naruto poked her on the forehead. You know, part of me is telling me to make you do it too. Nojiko's jaw dropped. But you don't want to be a swordsman, so the workout I'm giving them might not work with you. I need to find something for you to do as well as find a way for you to defend yourself. Speaking of defending ourselves, Nojiko said, ending his thoughts, there's nothing in the ship's armory. No bullets, no guns, no blades, not even any cannonballs or cannons to haul to the deck. We've got nothing. Naruto pointed at himself. We don't need cannons right now. I'm better than a damn cannon. I can kick everyone on a ship's ass by myself and steal all of their stuff, before even sinking the thing. Not that I would ever do anything like that. You're right though, we don't have anything, we definitely need to fix that. Nojiko sweat dropped. Is there anything else we need to fix before we go to the Grand Line? Naruto thought about it. Well, we need weapons, ammo for the weapons. More food, medical supplies, stuff for basic upkeep of this thing. We need those two to be whipped into shape before they get themselves killed. You to get some kind of way to fight on your own so I don't have to bring your pretty little head back to Kokoyashi village to get buried. People to actually help run the ship that know what they're doing. A guy that actually knows their way around this watery wasteland called the ocean. Someone to patch you all up when you get busted up. And tons of other stuff that slip my mind at the moment. Nojiko sighed. Is there anything we don't need to fix? Naruto grinned at her foxily. Well, me of course. Ha ha. Nojiko stated dryly. She looked out at Johnny and Yosaku, who were throwing punches slowly and heaving. Are they all right? Naruto spared them a glance and waved off her concern. They're fine. A loud thud sounded out as they both hit the deck in exhaustion. That's just them feeling the burn. Hey, get your sorry asses up. Naruto's Cage Bunshin barked at the downed and aspiring swordsman in training. What did I say about passing out? XXX. 1 week later, Naruto had Johnny and Yosaku run the same drills twice a day. Every second of their waking existence was spent training. In between the hated mass drills he had them fight him. Though he didn't use Samahata, or even anything with a bladed edge, no, he used a bakken, just a simple wooden sword, all of them did. With a bakken anyway he could correct their mistakes without cutting them into ribbons or impaling them. Oh, it felt like he impaled them when he jabbed them in the belly with it, but it was safer than the alternative. Naruto had one hand in his pocket and had the other using the solid piece of wood to defend himself from the attacks. Naruto sighed as he parried the strikes of the two men, too rigid, too stiff. I know it's a sword, but you two are far too unflexible in the way that you fight. Naruto blocked a shot from Johnny and kicked his leg out from under him, dropping him to his knees before palming his face and shoving him off. Yosaku came in next and swung overhead at Naruto, who cracked him in the hands, forcing him to drop the sword before pushing him down from behind. Naruto watched them pick themselves up off of the ground. You guys only really know the basics, and that's okay. The pair gripped their practice swords and gritted their teeth. Yosaku spoke up, but how can we beat someone like you without knowing any good moves? I don't know what you're talking about. Naruto twisted the sword in his hands. I don't have a single blade technique. The mouths of Johnny and Yosaku dropped at the revelation of that knowledge. But how can you be called a swordsman and have such a powerful sword if you don't even have any listed techniques for it? Naruto chuckled. Because it's not about what you know you can do with your sword, it's just about what you know you can do, period. You can make your own moves. You don't need me to teach you that. All that needs is a little imagination, and you two are two halves of the same brain. Johnny lowered his sword. So then what are we going to get out of all of this? Naruto raised his finger in an astute manner. What you will be getting out of training with me on your swordsmanship will be an appreciation for the unorthodox, knowledge of angles, and strength and speed. He then grinned evilly. And by the time we're done you will realize that no one will ever be as rough on you as I'll end up being. You think this is hard? We haven't even gotten started yet. Come to think of it, Naruto made a half-tiger seal, forcing Johnny and Yosaku to buckle under the additional pressure. You guys are starting to move around a little too easily, 5 more pounds per limb. Naruto-kun. Naruto shunshin to the helm to see what Nojiko had called him for. What's the matter, Nojiko-chan? Do you need something? Nojiko shook her head and pointed at an island in the distance. We're almost to Loguetown. I just thought I would tell you so you would stop torturing poor Johnny and Yosaku. Naruto gave her a dry look and pulled out another set of weights. Would you like to join them? I can find another practice sword too so you don't feel too terribly left out. Nojiko turned away and proceeded to the other side of the ship. No thank you. I'm fine over here. Naruto smirked and waited for them to reach land. XXX. Naruto stretched as everyone hopped off of the ship. All right everyone. We're here to get stuff that we need for the Grand Line. I will be going off with Nojiko-chan to keep her safe and maybe find something cool for her to use. You two just walk around and do whatever you want. Consider it a way for you to adjust to your new weight. The two men glared at Naruto but held their tongues. Naruto grabbed Nojiko's hand and led her off into the crowded city. The blonde man and blue-haired girl looked around in interest. Naruto marveled at the size of the city. I never see cities this size. Even back in the elemental nations, cities never got much bigger than Konoha, and this place is bigger than that. Nojiko giggled at the look on Naruto's face. This city isn't even the biggest there is, Naruto-kun. We're going to see all kinds of amazing things on this journey, so you might as well get used to seeing marvels like this. Naruto laughed. Who do you think you're telling? You need a few more years under your belt before you start trying to tell me to expect the unexpected. Nojiko stuck her tongue out at Naruto. You're not any older than me, Naruto-kun. You might be strong but you haven't seen everything the world has to offer yet. You're in the same boat as me. She finished with a light shove. Shaking his head in amusement, he kept looking around with a sigh. So this is where all the pirate stuff started, huh? It doesn't seem like it. This place seems really sleepy, totally way too docile to be a pirate hotspot. Nojiko was window shopping as she answered him. Well, this is where the pirate king Gol D. Roger was set to be executed. Apparently his final words over 20 years ago inspired the age of piracy that we're in. Naruto smiled. It's funny how single moments like that can start entire eras and movements and things. Well, not really funny, more terrifying really, how influential people can be. It's okay if the person is good, but any idiot with determination and a misguided goal can burn the world. He noticed Nojiko looking at him oddly as they walked. Sorry, ignore that. I ramble from time to time. It's okay, Naruto-kun. Nojiko assured him. You keep a lot of secrets, don't you? She noticed his eyes snap to hers. Don't worry about it. Any secret you have is your business to keep. I'm certain you'll tell everyone when you feel you need to. You're a good man, a little eccentric, but I'd rather you be eccentric than a bad guy. I'm a good guy because being a bad guy is boring, Noji-chan. Naruto said as they proceeded through the streets. From what I've seen, all bad guys do is get other people to do the stuff that makes them bad. Bad guys never do anything themselves unless they have to. They wait for the guy that challenges them to show up before they try something. Being a bad guy most of the time is static and boring, with a lot of mind games and mental chess being played. He pointed to himself. I am dynamic, a man of action. While I enjoy doing nothing from time to time, I am also bored very easily, and when that happens I look for something active to do. Shadowy dealings and behind the scenes cavorting isn't really my thing. I do what I want because I can. It just so happens that being a good guy is far more fun than the alternative. You also meet more hot women that way. Nojiko gave him an incredulous look. What? Naruto smirked. I met you and your sister doing something good, didn't I? Case in point right there. Nojiko rolled her eyes as a smile pulled at her lips. Idiot. Naruto simply kept moving ahead, feeling content at having made her smile. Yes. Yes, I've been called that from time to time. XXX. With Johnny and Yosaku, the two aspiring swordsmen did much the same as their shipmates, wandering around the city and pretty much looking around. None of them had any damn money to buy anything. Even though they saw a sword shop that was just crying out to them to head on inside, they would just be hurting themselves since they had nothing to buy any weapons, and they wouldn't be coming back even if they found something that screamed for them to buy it. The two just trudged around aimlessly and bored, and also somewhat exhausted because of their increase in weight on their bands, but at this point it was welcome compared to running laps on a moving ship and fighting their god of war captain. Man, Naruto Aniki is being a tool, Yosaku said as they walked along the docks back towards the ship. He wants us to come up with our own path in being swordsmen. What kind of stuff is that? We went with him to learn something, like the stuff that Zoro Aniki can do, and all we've been doing is running, getting yelled at, and getting beat up. Johnny rubbed his eyes under his sunglasses. I don't think he would mislead us or anything. Besides, have we been trained for real at all since we started using swords? This might be the best way for us to get better, you don't know. Yosaku yelled in exasperation to the sky, and he expects us to go to the Grand Line. Who are we kidding here? We're going to get slaughtered. He was grabbed by the arm and prevented from moving. Hey Johnny, what was that all about? Johnny was looking at a poster on a wall full of bounties. Dead or alive, straw hat, Monkey D. Luffy 20 million belly. A picture of a grinning Luffy, complete with straw hat and scar under his eye. Yosaku grinned. Hey, Luffy Aniki has won. That's really high, the highest in the East Blue. Way to go. Johnny slapped Yosaku on the head. What the hell was that for? Johnny simply pointed at the poster he meant for Yosaku to read. Dead or alive, Seed of War, Naruto Uzumaki 55 million belly. The picture had Naruto after the fight with Arlong, covered in Nezumi's blood from thrusting his hand through his chest and a dark look in his eyes. Yosaku had the same look of surprise on his face that Johnny did. What? The XXX, fuck. Naruto tightly gripped a poster of himself while reading the bounty, Seed of War. That's the best they've got. Couldn't they have come up with something cooler? I mean, come on. Nojiko gave him an odd look. The name is the thing you're freaking out about. How about the fact that you have 55 million on your head? Why is it so high? Naruto crumbled the poster. I did pulverize the top half of Arlong's body, shove my arm through a marine captain's chest, and then blow up his ship with his men still on it. I'm surprised it's not higher. Nezumi must have been as much of a pushover as I thought. He frowned visibly. Still though, Seed of War. Nojiko shook her head. You did kill about 24 marines in the span of 3 minutes as well as obliterate an entire base of mermen if you forgot. She gave the picture a long, hard look. How did they even get this picture? They were running from you so fast no one could have possibly had time to do it. This is true. Naruto tossed it aside carelessly. Oh well, you coming Nojiko? Naruto started walking off. Nojiko stood gaping at him. You're just going to leave it at that? Naruto-kun, this is a big deal. You didn't do anything wrong. Naruto turned around and grabbed a hold of her hand before pulling her along. I know, but it's the word of some random guy against a bunch of marines that saw me do it. Not only that, but I really don't care because first of all if all marines are bounty hunters are as weak as Johnny, Yosaku, and that Nezumi loser then keeping them off of my back will be a piece of cake. Boom. What was that? Nojiko wondered as smoke came from the center of town. Naruto's eyes drifted from the smoke to the girl. You want to go see? Nojiko nodded. Well then hold on Noji-chan. Naruto grabbed her and shunshin towards the town square. XXX Johnny just kept walking along back towards their ship. Man, Naruto Aniki has such a high bounty, that's insane. Yosaku noticed something. Hey, what is a marine ship doing next to ours? Johnny's eyes widened at the sight of a royal blue, normally colored marine ship docked right next to their orange abomination. Ah. They must have thought that it was an actual marine ship. If there are any marines on that ship when Nojiko and Naruto Aniki get back they'll chase us. One marine jumped out and looked around Naruto's ship. Hey, this one must have been commandeered by someone. It's marked out all of the marine stuff on it, not to mention it's totally orange. Have you seen this piece of crap? How could I not have? I saw it from 2 miles out. Called out a voice from the real marine ship. Johnny let out a girlish shriek. Ah. They're going to take Aniki's ship back. Yosaku's eyes hardened at that thought. No. We have to protect Aniki. We can't have him fighting alone all of the time. We have to fight too. Johnny grabbed him by his collar. Are you insane? These are Marines. The real pirate hunters. They chase real pirates, not just the weak ones that we were going after. Yosaku shook his head and drew his sword. I don't care. Naruto Aniki would have done it, so I will too. I will be strong like him. With that Yosaku rushed the gangplank and ran onto the orange ship, surprising everyone that was on board. One marine looked at Yosaku oddly. Who the hell are you and what are you doing here? Yosaku growled, I'm here to take back my Aniki's ship. Leave now or I'll make you. The marines started laughing. Who does this guy think he is? He doesn't even look like he knows how to hold that thing. How is he going to take this thing back? Like this. Yosaku rushed the first marine who blocked with his rifle and pushed him off. This is Naruto Aniki's ship. The marines pulled out their rifles and fired at Yosaku, who took cover behind the mast. Oh man, how am I going to do this? They all have guns. All I have is this sword, and I'm weighed down. His eyes widened in realization. Wait a minute, I'm weighed down. Flashback. 2 days after setting course to Loguetown. Johnny and Yosaku were slogging around the ship as fast as their legs could carry them, with their tongues hanging out, panting pitifully. Naruto was overseeing them, walking up and down the mast, sticking to it with Chakra. Feel that burn, guys, that feeling of your muscles screaming at you to stop moving. Don't listen to it or I will jump down there and break my foot off in your asses. Naruto looked down to see Nojiko pouting up at him. You're going to kill those two, Naruto-kun. Naruto grinned. Nah, they're fine. Right guys? Johnny and Yosaku both groaned loudly. Naruto got a tick mark on his head. What was that? Was that, please jump down here and beat some spirit back into us, Naruto Aniki. Well okay, if you insist. Johnny and Yosaku suddenly sped up. No need for that, Naruto Aniki. Seriously, they heal really fast. The fact that they can get up and do this again after what I made them do yesterday is nothing short of amazing. They should just be one big bruise right now. Naruto smirked and jumped down onto the deck. Can you access Chakra yet, Nojiko-chan? She shook her head in the negative. I can't feel anything, Naruto-kun. Are you sure that I even have it? Naruto nodded. Everyone has it. Just keep trying whenever you have the time. Even these guys can do it. He looked at Johnny and Yosaku. Come here, you guys. You're done for the day. The two yelled in victory and dropped to the ground and crawled over to Naruto and Nojiko, who let out a small laugh as they collapsed at their feet. Naruto crouched down and lifted their heads up. All right, this is important. I want you to wear these things everywhere you go, for everything you do. Johnny tried picking himself off of the ground, but Naruto Aniki, this is hard. I've never seen anyone train like this. Naruto gave him a deadpan look. Have you ever seen anyone that was actually strong train? How do you think Zoro got good? He just picked up 3 swords and started going nuts. No, he did retarded stuff like this that looks insane at first glance. Compared to the stuff I'm going to make you do soon, this is tame. Naruto thunked them both lightly on the head. Make everything an exercise. I only want you to take them off in one instance. The two had their eyes firmly locked on Naruto. The first time you two fight, I want you to take them off. Just to prove to you that I'm not blowing smoke when I make you do this stuff. You don't even tamper with these things until then. End flashback. Yosaku unsnapped the bands from his legs and arms and felt an absurd amount of pressure drop from his body. Did we kill the guy? No, he's still hiding behind the mast. Hey, aim for the mast. XXX. Johnny saw the marines on the other ship pointing their cannon at Yosaku, who was crouched behind the mast. Crap, he reached for his weights and unsnapped them, letting them drop onto the dock with a crack. Hold on, Yosaku, you idiot. Johnny pulled out his sword and jumped onto the marine boat, overwhelming them at how fast he got in front of the cannon. He kicked it, turning it to the side in time for it to fire at the helm, destroying the method of steering the ship and disabling it. Johnny surprised himself at how hard he kicked the cannon, so much so that he didn't notice the marines looking at him oddly. Who the hell are you? Another one of these weird guys, I assume. I'm that idiot's partner. Johnny pointed over at Naruto's ship with Yosaku taking off his weights, and as stupid as this is, I can't let you blow him up. So I have to have his back on this. Johnny saw them pull out rifles and take aim at him. Shit. Johnny evasively rolled out of the way and took off behind the mast. He waited for them to stop firing as he readied himself for a counterattack. Reload. Johnny rushed from behind the mast, kicking a barrel sitting on the deck at them to avert their attention, and knocked the rifles from their hands with a slash before whipping back around and taking them all out with a second wide slash. Johnny stayed in a crouch, just taking in the moment. Did that really just happen? One of the Marines groaning in pain on the ground looked up at Johnny weakly. What crew out there has the ability to steal a Marine ship, and who paints it orange? Johnny was stunned by the question. That's a damn good question. Naruto Aniki never named us. XXX Yosaku shut his eyes tightly and sprang from behind the mast ready to attack as the Marines were reloading. They abandoned trying to reload and attempted to use the bayonets on their rifles to stab and slash at him. Yosaku parried a thrust from one of the Marines and elbowed him in the face before he slashed at another, getting him right in the chest, eliminating him from the fight. The last Marine found time to reload and got off a shot at Yosaku, who saw it coming and shifted his body out of the way of the shell, shocking himself at how fast he was moving. Before the man had time to register the fact that he missed, Johnny had run past him, finishing him with a bypassing cut. Yosaku turned and saw that he had defeated all of the Marines aboard the ship. A grin started covering his face and he leapt in the air, whooping in victory. I won. I actually won. I can't believe this. I'll never badmouth Naruto Aniki's training again. This is awesome. Hey Yosaku. Yosaku ran over to the side of the ship to see Johnny doing the same from the Marine ship. Hey Johnny. Johnny had an identical grin on his face. Did you win too? Yosaku started laughing madly. It's never been that easy before. That was just after a week of training. Johnny thumbed his finger over his shoulder. Naruto Aniki said we didn't have any ammo or weapons, so I think we should raid their supply. I mean, they did try to take our ship. Yosaku slapped the side of the ship before jumping over and heading over to Johnny. Hell yeah. Now that's showing initiative. XXX with Naruto and Nojiko. Naruto and Nojiko appeared in the middle of a crowd of people, dispersing them out of shock from seeing two people appear in a swirl of random leaves. Naruto saw Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro running away from the square towards the docks. Naruto had to blink. Did we just run into Luffy and your sister's crew again? What the hell? How did we catch up to them? Nojiko looked at the men of the Strafut crew run away. I don't know. Is your stolen Marine ship that much faster than theirs? It has to be because you left 2 days after they did. Nojiko gasped as she saw the amount of Marines chasing them. If they get back to the rest of the crew where Nami is. Naruto groaned. Oh well, I guess things have been quiet enough. Come on, let's make sure your sister and her friends don't get arrested. Naruto picked up Nojiko piggyback style, ignoring her sound of surprise, and took off running along the rooftops of the city, keeping pace with Luffy's crew and the Marines. Nojiko cried out when it started downpouring randomly in the midst of the chase. Nojiko looked behind them and tapped Naruto on the shoulder. Naruto-kun, what is that? Naruto saw a mass of smoke moving towards Luffy, who had left Zoro behind to fight some girl with swords. The mass turned into a muscular white-haired man smoking 2 cigars at once. He wore a thick white and blue marine jacket with fur lining the neck, wrists, and hem, in addition to brown leather gloves, blue jeans with a brown belt, and brown leather boots. He also had a jute on his back. My name is Smoker. I am the captain of the Marine main base. I won't allow you to get out of here, Monkey D. Luffy. Smoker's arms turned to his namesake as he sent them out at Luffy, snatching him up into the air. Sanji tried kicking at the smoke to free his captain. What is this? However, his leg was caught just as easily when he kicked at Smoker's face. Don't mess with me, you weakling. How Ito Auto, white out. He covered Sanji in smoke and picked him up like Luffy. Luffy stretched his arm out and grabbed a hold of Sanji to try and pull him out. Smoker caught him and mashed Luffy's face into the ground. He attempted to pull the jute from his back. Naruto, upon seeing this, was about to spring into action until a hand rested on Smoker's arm. I don't think so. Naruto's eyes widened at the sight. Fast, suddenly a massive storm came up, forcing Naruto to hold tight to Nojiko lest she get blown away like Smoker was. The storm was the opportunity for Luffy to reach his feet and escape with the rest of his crew. Naruto jumped to the ground as the mysterious man vanished. Who the hell was that guy? He's the strongest guy I've ever seen since I've shown up here. Where can I find more guys like that to fight? Nojiko hit him on the shoulder. You want to fight that guy? What's wrong with you? Guys as dangerous as Arlong aren't enough for you anymore. Naruto picked his ear. Nope, not really. Arlong was a jabroni. That guy's a champion. Naruto's eyes cut to the side. Speaking of jabronis, Naruto threw a kunai on the ground as a motorcycle stopped in front of it. Naruto stared at Smoker, who had come back from being blown away. Naruto formed a kage bunshin. Nojiko-chan, go with my clone back to the ship. Tell the others to get everything ready for us to leave, I might need to make a quick escape. Nojiko nodded nervously and grabbed the kage bunshin's hand. Be careful, Naruto-kun. Aren't I always? He gave her a wide grin. Now get on out of here. Nojiko gave him a hesitant smile and took off with the kage bunshin to the ship. Naruto's grin dropped as he turned back towards Smoker. So I assume you're here to keep chasing Luffy. I can't let you do that. You see, that strong guy showed his face to get him free, and I have to believe that someone that powerful doesn't just do random things for no good reason. That's not his style, so in order to meet this person that I can fight him, I'm going to have to stop you from pursuing Luffy. Smoker climbed off his bike, cigar smoke billowing from his mouth. The seed of war, Naruto Uzumaki, one of the youngest marine-killing pirates in the entire world. Are you saying that you intend to pursue Monkey D. Dragon, the most dangerous man in the world? Dragon is the man's name. Good to know. Naruto snickered. Young. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. And Nezumi was a shitstain. Fuck that guy. I'm not a pirate just because I killed some crooked marine captain, but it doesn't matter at this point. Naruto dropped into a stance. If you want some, come get some. Smoker shot his arms out in smoke again in an effort to surround Naruto. The blonde was faster than the attack, however, as he evaded the shot and ended up in Smoker's face, hitting him with a series of rapid-fire punches. Naruto was noticeably irked as his fists went through, much like Sanji's had. Naruto avoided Smoker's counter of using his body to engulf Naruto's frame by flipping up one of the walls nearby. What the hell is that? Why can't I hit you? I know I hit harder than Sanji or Luffy can. Smoker's face appeared in the massive cloud of smoke that he became. This is a Logia type Akuma no Mi. Anyone that uses these kinds cannot be harmed by most attacks other than their weaknesses. Now get ready to face the gallows that Straw had avoided earlier. Haoito Suppaku, White Spark. His massive smoke body charged at Naruto. Naruto rolled backwards in retreat. What the hell, now I can't run or he'll follow me to the ship and then everyone else is screwed. He yelled at Smoker, fuck off. You're really starting to piss me off now. The smoke overtook Naruto, who was trying to think of some way to get Smoker off of him so that he could leave, since any attack he could muster would just pass through him like smoke. That was it. Like smoke. He was smoke. Naruto quickly burst out of the smoke before Smoker could solidify it around him and retreated towards the ship a bit further. Smoker laughed as he chased Naruto towards the ocean. Just give up, Uzumaki. It'll be easier for both of us. Naruto looked behind him again. Yeah, actually it would be. Since I would just break out of wherever you would put me and be on my merry way, but I have people to take care of and you're in the way, so now it's time to remove you. Naruto pressed his hands into the horse seal and took a deep breath. Fudden, Tatsumaki Sanden, wind release, twister shot. Naruto spat out a massive tornado that ripped up the streets and messed up houses and other nearby buildings. The tornado pulled Smoker's body into the forceful whirlwind. Naruto held fast to the ground with Chakra as he watched his opponent get tossed about into the air. Naruto snickered as the attack cleared up. Later, Smoker. Feel free to find me again when you put yourself back together. Naruto ran off towards the ship. XXX Nojiko had her hand over her face, shaking her head slowly. Naruto-kun is going to kill you too. You're both so stupid. I really underestimated how dumb you two were. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Never again. Johnny sat on the brand new cannons they had moved from the other ship onto theirs. Johnny was gleefully buffing the one he was sitting on. Why would he be mad? He already has a bounty. How the hell would he find himself any worse off now? And we have cannons and tons of ammo right now. Whoever's ship that was, they were loaded. Yosaku was busy hauling crates of bullets under the deck for storage. Yeah, and we actually beat our opponents. With all that Naruto Aniki has done for us, getting him some firepower was the least we can do. After all, we are just his humble pupils. Naruto appeared on the deck in a burst of leaves with a mirthful look on his face. All right, today has been eventful. Let's get out of here before Smoker pulls himself back together and starts hunting me down. There are some seriously weird powers out there. I swear. Naruto looked at the 4 new cannons he had lining his deck, 2 on each side. Where did these come from? Nojiko pointed at a marine ship docked right next to theirs. Your humble students ripped them off as a thank you for your diligence in teaching them, she said in a stupid voice. Naruto stood still for a moment, just staring at Nojiko, then at a grinning Johnny, then back and forth a few more times. He finally threw his hands up and walked towards the helm. I'm not even going to say anything, Johnny. Yosaku, Naruto called out as he started getting the boat out of the docks. Both men ran right up to Naruto's back, standing like new recruits. Yes, Naruto and Ikki. Naruto's eye twitched as they still hadn't realized what they had done. However, he still kept his back turned. Did you take off your weights to fight those Marines on that ship? Both men grinned. Yeah, we did, but we put them right back on after we won. It's your winning training method after all. I see. Naruto nodded to himself and made a half-tiger seal. Weight increase. Both men dropped to the ground once again. Groaning as they found themselves unable to move from the deck, Yosaku had to ask, Naruto and Ikki, why? Naruto turned around slowly with a displeased look on his face. You two stole those cannons. I can understand kicking their asses because they were trying to take my ship, but you stole everything from them. What is the definition of a pirate? Johnny shakily tried to pull himself up. We don't know. Naruto made a hand sign and dropped them both to the ground again. Piracy is defined as any criminal act of violence, detention, or depredation committed for private ends by the crew or the passengers of a private ship that is directed against another ship, or against persons or property on board a ship. Do you know what that means? Both shook their heads from the ground and found Naruto's fists angrily bouncing off of their skulls. It means that you literally made me a pirate, for real. Both had huge bumps on their heads. Johnny looked up at the angry immortal. How much weight is this, Ikki? Naruto turned back to the helm and kept steering the ship. Since you both got used to 100 pounds so quickly and because you pissed me off, you can now have fun learning how to walk with 200 pounds each. Enjoy. Something rolled from Johnny and Yosaku and hit the back of his foot. Naruto reached down and picked it up. It looked like a compass watch of some sort. What the hell is this? Johnny finally pulled himself to his feet. It looks like some kind of funky compass, Ikki. We took it because it looked cool. Nojiko walked up to Naruto and took it from his hands before strapping it on her wrist. You don't know what this is. All of the men shook their heads, forcing the girl to sigh. You're all so stupid. I swear, it's a log pose. You need one just to navigate the Grand Line because regular compasses don't work. After getting blank looks from everyone on board, she simply walked away below deck. Never mind, just go where I tell you to go when we get to the Grand Line. She disappeared, mumbling about stupid blade-swinging morons and cute blonde ignoramuses. XXX Smoker finally got himself together and rushed toward the docks where Naruto had been heading, intent on pursuing either them or the Strafuts, whoever he caught up with first. One was too dangerous because Dragon found it in his best interest to intervene to protect him. What could that mean? The other was too dangerous because, well, he just pissed Smoker off. He was also dangerous for real. Who spits out tornadoes in the middle of a city? Captain Smoker. Smoker found his Master Chief Petty Officer running near him. What are we going to do now? She had dark blue hair that went down to her neck, glasses, dark blue slacks, and a yellow shirt with pink flowers on it. Smoker reformed as they arrived at the docks. We're leaving to pursue them, Tashigi. Both of them are going to the Grand Line, Monkey D. Luffy and Naruto Uzumaki. A marine ran off of the ship. But sir, you were supposed to remain stationed here. Smoker moved past him to board the ship. I will show them not to order me around. Come on, we're leaving. The same man pushed his fingers together. About that, sir. There's something you should know. Smoker stood on his ship with his mouth wide open in surprise. It was a wonder the cigars he had in there didn't fall out. What the hell happened to my ship? In addition to the unconscious Marines strewn about, the helm was completely destroyed by cannon fire. And speaking of cannons, there weren't any. The Marine that had tried to tell him came aboard, so these two men came and attacked us when we were trying to take back a Marine ship that had been stolen and refurbished. The two men beat all of us and wrecked our ship before stealing everything of value on board and dumping everyone on this ship. It just now left. Smoker almost bit through his cigars. This is just not my day. Who? I want to know who did it. They were two odd-looking guys with swords, but they kept screaming stuff about Naruto and Ikki. Apparently they call themselves the XXX, Foxhound Pirates. Naruto asked, looking at the rest of his crew strangely with squinted eyes, what is it with stupid names revolving around me? For the second time today I reiterate, was that the best you had? But it makes sense Aniki. Yosaku tried to reason, me and Johnny were bounty hunters that pursued our prey like hounds, and that's how loyal we are to you. Joni Y pointed another point out, not to mention that you were the captain, and with those whisker marks on your face and the facial expressions you give off regularly you kind of reminded me of a fox. Naruto turned to look at him, still squinting, you see. Just like that, how can you not see that? Nojiko grabbed a hold of Naruto's face, studying it for a moment before breaking into a smile. Oh yeah. I totally see it now. Naruto grumbled under his breath childishly and walked up the mast to take a nap in the crow's nest. Stupid stigmas, stupid foxes existing everywhere in the entire world, even after several lifetimes I can't escape. XXX, 1 week later, what the fuck is that? Naruto asked, looking out the window of the common area as they came to a massive landmass that stretched as far as the eye could see. Nojiko held up a map. That's the red line Naruto-kun. If you want to pass between the seas or head towards the Grand Line you have to get around it. Naruto stroked his chin. How do you get across? I mean, I could climb it, but that would leave the boat here as well as the rest of you. Nojiko gave him a dry look. You can climb it Naruto-kun. Seriously, it's 10,000 meters up and over. How would you manage that? Naruto returned her look with one of his own and proceeded to walk up the mast of the ship and back down, stopping in front of her. Now picture that, just on that continent, and for way longer. Actually I would just run it so it might not be that long. Nojiko gasped. Naruto-kun, do you know what that means? If you're serious you can reach Marijoy, the holy government land. Naruto nodded. Good to know in case I ever want to burn it to the ground. Ignoring Nojiko's stunned look at his words he took the map from her. Now how do we get this boat onto the Grand Line? Nojiko shook off her bewildered look. We have to traverse Reverse Mountain. A place where all of the 4 oceans' waters meet and spill into the Grand Line. Naruto scratched his head. Man, the world has some messed up geography. How does everyone travel like this? There can only be so many people that are capable of anything even remotely similar to what we're about to do. There has to be another way. Nojiko frowned. There is, but now that you have a bounty of 55 million it's even more obscenely dangerous than it was in the first place. You have to get through one of the 3 gates of justice of the Marines. Each one leads directly to heavily fortified areas of power for the Marines. Naruto shrugged. We have a Marine ship that apparently still looks enough like one to risk getting repossessed. I'm damn sure that there are some Marine uniforms on this tub, why not? It seems a hell of a lot easier than climbing a mountain. And stay with me now because I know this will sound illogical. How about going south, which also seems like a much better way than climbing a mountain with a ship. Nojiko punched Naruto in the head. Are you really this worldly stupid or are you just a reckless bastard? If we get caught, maybe you could fight your way out, and I severely doubt that even you can, but the rest of us would be dead. Even if it did work, not only would it only work once, your bounty would have to triple because you made a damn fool of the Marines, getting past them like that. All ways are risky for different reasons. Reverse Mountain is the way everyone uses. Naruto and Ikki. Johnny ran inside. The ship has stopped. It's like the wind died or something. Nojiko scraped her nails on the table they were sitting by and ran outside. No. Naruto and Johnny followed her outside to find her reasonably freaking out about something. Noji-chan, calm down and tell me, what's the matter? It can't be that bad. Nojiko turned to him. Calm. Calm is what the problem is in the first place. We're in the calm belt, the stretch of ocean surrounding the Grand Line. Naruto smiled. See, I knew there was an easier way to get there than climbing a mountain. Nojiko didn't calm herself. No, this is different, it's not good at all. This place is the reason I didn't want to go south in the first place. The calm belt is swarming with sea kings. Naruto raised an eyebrow while Johnny paled. Okay, What the hell is a Sea King and why do I care? Johnny started moving towards the mast, trying to stay away from the edges of the ship. Sea Kings are gigantic monsters way bigger than anything you'll see anywhere. They attack anything that comes near them mercilessly. Naruto shrugged. So, I'll just kill it. It can't be any tougher than a rampaging demon of myth, right? Nojiko just stared at him. I'm not even going to ask, but seriously, we need to get out of here. Or, Naruto started, we just need to hustle to the Grand Line. Once we get there everything should be cool, right? Johnny cupped his chin in his hand. Well, theoretically it should be. Right. I mean they do go other places, but for the most part they only stick around in the calm belt. Nojiko had anime tears coming from her eyes at this point. You're going to get us all killed. There's no wind here, there's no current, don't you remember? How do you think we're going to get anywhere without even any wind? We need to get this thing turned around and keep from heading south. We need to go north to Reverse Mountain. That's the way all pirates get to the Grand Line. Naruto picked at his ear. Marines don't do it. Nojiko blinked. Huh, that's right. I've never heard of any Marine doing that to get to and from the Grand Line, or anywhere in general. Even though they have the gates of justice that can't account for everything, can it? I mean, Impel Down is in the middle of the calm belt. How the hell do they get anyone on or off that place? Yosaku came on deck yawning. Hey guys, what's up? Naruto turned towards Yosaku and gestured for him to come over. We're trying to figure out how the hell the Marines can go everywhere in the entire world with all of the strange crap that act as natural barriers. Yosaku's eyebrows raised. Why are you worried about that? Are we being chased or something? Nojiko shook her head. No, it's because we're in the calm belt. Oh no, we're still in the calm belt. She pointed at Naruto accusingly. Stop distracting me by being so cute and inquisitive. We need to get out of here. Naruto raised his hands in defense. Yosaku just walked over to the training area and brandished his sword before beginning to go through his motions. Oh, that's it. We're fine. Nojiko snapped at Yosaku. How the hell are we fine? I may not be nearly as good at navigating as Nami is, but I know that the calm belt is a death trap for most ships. Yosaku just kept practicing. Yeah, most ships. This is a marine ship, remember? Yosaku made a face while he was moving about. Hey Naruto Aniki, can you increase my weights for me? Naruto nodded and did so, watching Yosaku buckle slightly before he continued to work out as Nojiko didn't understand what he was talking about. What do you mean, this is a marine ship? Duh, who cares? Yosaku was starting to get irritated, because marine ships have seastone lining the bottoms so that sea kings can't sense them in the ocean water. That's why marine ships can go anywhere. Why do you think they can get to Impel Down in one piece? That place is teeming with sea kings. Everyone else just stood silently while Yosaku eventually got tired of everyone staring at him. What? Johnny pointed at him. How do you know that? You don't know anything. Yosaku rolled his eyes, because when we stopped off to drop our bounties I didn't just stand there looking stupid while waiting in line. I actually listened to some of the stuff that the Marine guards would say. You'd be surprised how much that comes up. It's like every Marine worships seastone or something. Naruto rubbed his hands together in excitement. Alright. Now that that little issue is resolved, we still need to get out of here. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto formed 5 clones that jumped off of the back of the ship and ran out a decent distance on the water. Give us a boost, boys. The clones saluted him and made hand seals. Fudden. Datapa, wind release. Great breakthrough. They caused a great gust of wind to fill the ship's sails and blow it along from its stationary position. Yada. Grand Line, here we come. Naruto yelled into the distance at his waving clones. Good going, guys. The party of the Kage Bunshin was cut short when a massive pair of jaws emerged from the water, snatching them all up and devouring them. The entire crew, sans Naruto, watched with wide eyes as the creature dove back underneath the water. Naruto scratched his head. So that's a sea king, huh? I can see why you were so concerned now. He said blankly. Oh well, whatever. Let's go. He walked back to the helm, taking a shell-shocked Nojiko with him. I really need to learn how to navigate. We're all going to die. Why was coming out here supposed to be a good idea? She muttered to herself as Naruto led her away. Johnny's sunglasses were falling slightly off of his face. Yosaku. Yosaku's eyes were still bulging. Yes, Johnny. We're going to die out here, aren't we? Naruto's voice was heard. Johnny. Since Yosaku took the initiative and asked for an increase in weights, you're getting it too. A glow of bands ended with Johnny crashing to the ground. Yosaku nodded in answer to Johnny's question. Yes, we are. The only question is, whether the Grand Line will do it, or will Naruto Aniki do it himself? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, as well as checking out the author on fanfiction.net.